Hi y'all, today I'm going to be showing you how to get a very pretty and age-appropriate preteen makeup look. When starting out, I love using a very lightweight, oil-free moisturizer for girls with younger skin. Reason being is you definitely want to still have moisture on their face before they begin their makeup, but oil-free will help if they are to be more acne prone. That or use one that maybe a dermatologist has recommended. Now I'm going to use a dampened makeup sponge, and these just kind of make it easy for them to apply their foundation themselves. I'm actually only using a very lightweight tinted moisturizer here, and this is just to sort of help even out her skin tone a little while still keeping it very, very natural and very much like her own natural skin. Just want to really make sure that they work it in very well so that there's no lines, especially around the jawline. Now with a very fluffy blending brush, I'm going to apply a pretty good medium to full coverage concealer. And the reason why I definitely suggest you use a brush if you are kind of dealing with a little bit more of a heavier acne coverage, or even just red and irritated hormonal skin, you can use a brush to lightly fluff over any of those areas and it'll give a much better blended area. I'm also carrying this a little bit under her eyes just to open those up. At 13 or 14 years old, they don't have many bags to worry about just yet, but this will just kind of help to brighten up their eyes and just give it a nice solid uniform look. Now I'm going to skip the step of using lots of different eyeshadows on her. It doesn't really need to be very complicated for a young girl. She just needs something that adds a little bit of color but is very easy to keep on, and cream eyeshadow is definitely that. It's very functional, it's easy to apply with your finger, and you just barely dab it on and it automatically gives a pretty color and one that you can kind of smooth around. It's pretty forgiving. This is a very light golden pink that I picked because she's a lot of golden undertones. I thought it'd go really pretty with her skin tone. You want to keep it fairly neutral, nothing too crazy. Hot pinks and blues might be a bit extreme, but this is a nice soft balance for her skin tone. Just make sure you're blending that really well up to the crease. Now I am using a gel liner, and this is black. You can do black, or I would even suggest a very dark brown. But you see I've already done one eye. I'm just letting the brush pretty much do all the work. This is an actual eyeliner brush, and this is a Real Techniques one. I think this one's great. It just looks like a very fine-tipped paintbrush, but you can also use an angle brush for this. But the reason why I like using a gel liner for younger girls is because it's a little bit more forgiving. It's a lot more forgiving actually than liquid liner. Liquid liner is just very liquidy, it's kind of hard to manage, and with the gel it gives it a little bit more of a softer effect. With Zoe here, I'm actually giving her a little bit of a winged out eye just to sort of spread them out a little more and give them more of an almond shape. Now I'm using a water-resistant mascara. I would suggest water-resistant if you can find it. This one's from MAC. I know they specifically make one, and I believe Lancome does. The difference between waterproof and water-resistant is it will hold up for her as her eyes might water through the day, or tears, because sometimes they can be emotional, and this will kind of help to keep that on. But waterproof might be a little bit harsh and hard for her to get off at night when she washes her face. And I'm just using black here, but again, you can use a darker brown. Now, if she gets mascara or liner, any that might fall or accidentally smudge as she's putting it on, if you can just wait a minute and let that dry, it becomes easier to slough off with just a dry Q-tip. So here I'm just going through and getting any of those spots from the mascara, and also using it to blend in the crease of her eyeshadow a little bit better so it's a better blend. I don't really suggest totally shaping out and defining a young girl's brows. I think it would be a bit harsh on her young face. But it might be a good age to start teaching your daughter to pluck her eyebrows, how to give them a good shape, but still keeping them very natural and filled. So I just used a clear brow gel for that. Now I'm taking a little bit more of a finer, more pointed makeup brush, and I'm going into specific spots or blemishes that need a little bit extra coverage. And I'm just taking my concealer and dabbing it on those specific spots so that I have a better coverage for it. Next, I'm going to take a mineral powder and just lightly dab that on her face. You want to keep her skin soft and more of a glowy, natural feel. So teach her to softly apply a mineral blush because it will still keep that youthful glow to her skin without making her look too matte. And it's important to definitely pick out the right color for this as well. Now I'm going to add just a touch of color to her face. Again, sort of keeping the peachy gold feel, I went for a warm coral blush. And this is mineral as well, so it's still keeping that whole glowy feel to her skin. You just want to apply that mainly to the apples of the cheeks and a little bit on the nose. Now for lips, I don't really think most young girls want anything more than a gloss, but I do suggest one that has a little bit more of a natural pigment to their natural lips. She has really pretty full lips already, so I just brought out that natural pink that they have a little more with a bolder glittery pink tone. And I'm just filling that in, and it kind of takes the place of using a lipstick and liner, which they won't want to take the time to do, but still gives them some color and dresses up their face a little bit more. So here you go. It's very simple, a very pretty look for a young girl entering into young womanhood. Thank you for watching and see you next time.